Well, it's not only myself. The whole High Commission, all the diplomatic staff were here this morning, including our High Commissioner, our head of Chancery, and all the other diplomats. This is a matter of great concern to us, not just because one of our compatriots is involved, but for all the people who've perished. I felt so bad. I said to myself, how could this happen in a country like this, in the 21st century, and in a borough like this, which is supposed to be the richest borough in London?
I can't even explain it. I can't even say it at all. It's just one of those things where I wake, like I said earlier, I wake up in the morning and I see such disaster that my heart was just so broken, and I was so devastated over seeing this kind of incident that happened, on people's lives and in their family.
I'm fasting, right? And then obviously you don't sleep at night, you wake up to eat, and then you start seeing the news, because you're watching the news as you're going, and then the news break through, and then you start seeing fire, flames in London. The last thing you're going to think about is do you have any family member or any relative because of the location? Because if it was in Southeast, it's easy. You think, okay, maybe there's Salinians. But I wasn't thinking Salinian, to be perfectly honest with you. But I was still devastated equally, because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's happening again in London? Eventually, news started unfolding, and then we found out that as the early hours of the morning, a Salinian has lost a life into it. And then that sinks in terms of heartbreak.
Bad. When I saw that, because for somebody that all the years, bubbling lady, outgoing, we've been to the same church. Yeah, even my second church, she was there with me.
Community work as well. I've gone to so many fire trainings which tell people to stay indoors. But like I said in the first place, if the place was safe and then the fire people or the council make provision for, the safety of people.
All I could see was fire. It was just like the time of 9/11 in the States, the Twin Towers. That's exactly what was happening there.
Well, actually, Zainab is a community person. I myself, personally, I don't know Zainab. I've never met her before. But, it's this new phenomenon, actually, when it comes to Sierra Leonean thing. We all have to come on board. Absolutely. And sympathize with the family of Zainab. I don't know her personally, to be honest with you. But in social media, it's so active nowadays, especially with the young people. So they send a post that all Sierra Leoneans has to come here, actually, to make sure that we sympathize. And then, hence the reason why I'm here today.
Hi, my name is Minnie Jermaine, and you're watching Boss TV. If you want the latest gossip, the latest news on celebrity, whatever it is, follow us on Boss Media TV. Hey, beats.
Very, very harrowing, and I think traumatic for a lot of people that were present. I have a friend, a good friend of mine, Yasin al-Wahadi, who, there's different reports, but it seems that maybe he didn't make it out. I have another friend that I just saw now that lived on the 15th floor, and he did manage to get out alive. He got out about 4 o'clock, and he's just got out of hospital now. And he's been seriously affected by the experience and seriously traumatized by the experience. In terms of where we place the responsibility and the accountability for this tragic incident, we need to look firstly at Greenfell Action Group continuously, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but continuously during the TMR and the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea's attention towards the fact that the building was not prepared for any type of incident like this, and they said pretty much word for word that it will take a massive loss of life for the ineptitude and incompetence that was part of the constructing of this building and the maintenance of this building to be revealed, essentially. And so they were warned, and they knew that this building was not safe. The refurbishment, which depending to some sources it cost £8 million, other sources about £9.7 million, which again is outsourced. And I think this is an important part of this, because part of the sort of neoliberal consensus which came across the political class in this country from the 80s was the idea that outsourcing was for the best. It's the idea that corporate power is, number one, more adept at handling issues, and that corporate power is more important than state power. It's the self-hating weak state that essentially the ideology of neoliberalism imbued within the political class, and they took that on. So they added cladding to the outside, which clearly is flammable also, and so exacerbated the issue of a fire, which would have been easily contained were in Trellick Tower, as had happened. It was contained and kept to one flat. Here it spread very quickly. So we saw that spread, we had people crying for help, and I didn't see anyone jump, but obviously we heard people jump. We were breathing it in. Bits of the building were falling down on us, bits of people's homes were falling down on us. It reminds me of a poem by Mahmoud Darwish called The House as a Casualty, where it talks about every single element of the house as having been touched by a human presence, whether it's a half-finished bottle of milk or a bill or a notepad. It's touched by a human presence, and even to see that all around us, see people's homework, to see pages of books burnt and around us, obviously it's very, very harrowing thing to see. And as I say, people I love seem to have died in that building, and there has to be accountability for this. People have to go to prison for this. There has to be reparations for this. But moreover, we need to make sure that the people that lived in that building have the right to be rehoused in the building in the same place if they want. They have the right to be in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. What we've seen happen is, according to reports, they're only rehousing the elderly and the vulnerable, and that's completely wrong. They have a serious responsibility to rehouse the people that have been displaced by this terrible situation. So really, I think this not only is a condemnation of the contractors responsible for this building, but moreover it's a condemnation of austerity, it's a condemnation of neoliberalism and of the custom emergency services, because where they better equip potentially people who have lived that didn't have to die in the first place. They built the Kensington Academy, which also impeded the ability of emergency services to get towards the building. Were this Kensington Town Hall, this would not have happened. This would not have happened. It would not be the empty carcass that the building now is. And so I just want to send my biggest condolences to everybody that lost anyone, and anyone that's looking for anyone at this time. And if anyone needs anywhere to stay, or if anyone needs anything, they are completely have the right to contact me, and I will do whatever I can to help you, whether it's helping you be housed or whether it's helping you with material needs at this time. Obviously, the outpour, as references in the news, of people coming and presenting food and presenting water and presenting clothes and stuff and bedding is fantastic, but we need to turn it into political mobilization. We need to turn it into a movement which pushes for two things. Number one, accountability and justice, but also number two, it needs to kick back against the aims of regeneration of this estate, which has been going on for about a year and a half, 2 years. They have been building towards it. We as a community have been organising against it. But what I also fear with this is it can be weaponized, in that they can look at the other blocks around here, the other 4 very large tower blocks, and say to them, you don't want to happen to you what happened in Greenfell, so therefore you should allow us to knock down these blocks. Now, people that live in this area have school nearby for their children, have jobs nearby. We need to maintain the sense of community here, because when you take away the physical possibility of community, you take away the emotional and psychological possibility of community. And this is an area with a very rich tradition of diasporic brilliance. This is the area where Bob Marley recorded Exodus. This is the area of the Mangrove 9, Darkest Hour. This is the area where Kelso Cochrane was killed, that led to the carnival. This is the area of Frestonia. This is an area of so many interesting, beautiful, subversive movements. We can't allow gentrification to eat at it and to essentially aim at homogenizing the population here. We have to resist social cleansing, and we have to do everything that we can to make sure that this mobilization and galvanization of people, which of course is positive, but what I would say is on the night when it was happening and we were out in the street, it was only people from the community here. Not many of those people are still here. The people that now are here, which we're blessed by their presence, obviously, they're not people that live here. They're not people that live here. Part of it has turned into the big spectacle of, this carcass of a building where death happened, and the corpses are still there. My friend who came out from the 15th floor and survived miraculously, he was tripping over corpses coming out. There's been a cover-up in the amount of people that have died in this building. And my point is that we have to use these numbers, and we have to really aim at political organisation and mobilisation. We have to meet, we have to talk, we have to find ways for us to legally move towards justice and compensation for all of the people that have suffered here.
What's your name?
Loki. Loki, yeah.
How you spell that?
Lowkey. Oh. How you doing, bro?
Database now because he was interviewed in that way. That is outrageous. It is all just corrupt money making for people who don't really care around here. Our former MP, Victoria Borwick, what were the two main platforms she stood on? She wanted to bring back fox hunting and she wanted to repeal the laws on trading ivory. As you can see around here, we have lots of problems with foxes attacking our livestock, and we have a real serious elephant problem in the area, so we're very keen to get rid of them.
But once again, you went through a 1, 2, 3. Just give me the 1, 2, 3 of what was missing.
Sprinklers were missing, an alarm system was missing, and a coordinated response was missing. The fact that the fire brigade weren't able to even get more than one engine underneath that building, I think contributed to the people's deaths. You know, the fact that Greenfell Road is barely 10 foot wide with cars parked on either side, I think contributed to people's deaths. The fact that the Aldridge Academy was allowed to violate their planning application and then have everything okayed on retrospective planning applications by Jonathan Ball's department at Kensington and Chelsea, I think had an effect, because there was no way that physically for fire engines or any other emergency vehicles to get into that area.
What do you think should happen now?
What do I think should happen? I think Theresa May should resign, yeah? Because frankly, at the minute, that building is more strong and stable than she is, yeah? She is a disgraceful Prime Minister to have allowed ministers in her government to allow things like that to happen. And to announce an inquiry today, I will save you £15 million. Greed is the reason that happened. Greed and hubris. That's why. They didn't care about us. The fire brigade's advice is to stay in your property. If the building regulations had been complied, that would have been very wise advice to give people. Unfortunately, they weren't. And so people who obeyed that died. I know people who died. I know people who went back in to get dogs or family or things like that who ended up dying. There are people who got out and their children didn't. Can you imagine how they must feel? You know, they thought that their children were out safely already because they were with other people, and yet now they have to sleep with that at night. I bet you number 10 has sprinklers, number 10 Downing Street. I bet you City Hall has sprinklers. I bet you Kensington Palace up the road has sprinklers. I bet you Chelsea Wharf has sprinklers. I bet you BBC Television Centre in its redevelopment will have sprinklers. But the one place that needed them was that. The one place that didn't get them was that, because more money was spent on the exterior than was spent on even the cent to do the slightest bit of safety work to try and improve the lives of the people who were in there and the exterior, the interior of that block. You know, Robert, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Robert Black, the current chief executive of KCTMO, who is supposedly arm's length, as I've already told you. How come, if they're arm's length, they are able to use lawyers from Kensington and Chelsea Council to send cease and desist letters to people who are in the Greenfell Action Group to tell them to stop scaremongering when they were raising what have now been proven to be 100% accurate concerns about this building. And it was paid for, well, the lawyers are paid for with our taxes. Okay, so they're using our money to shut us up in order to line the pockets of their friends. I'll tell you something. One of our local councillors, Councillor Lashari, the Labour councillor, lived on Testerton Walk. She is just as homeless as the rest of us is at the moment now. Do you think Nicholas Paget-Brown, the leader of the Conservative group at Kensington and Chelsea, is homeless? No. Do you think anyone else in the Conservative group is homeless? No, of course they're not. Do you think any of them even have set foot inside a council estate?
Great, yeah. That's brilliant. Just stay where you are. Stay exactly where you are.
Give us the mic, Bill.
Well done, Joe.
I record this because I want to see people go to prison for what happened there. I really do. I really think they deserve it. Corporate manslaughter charges. I don't want a fine. Why on earth should they be fined? So what? One arm of our taxes gets fined by another arm of our taxes. You know, it is. What use is that to any of us?
Do you think it will be the same old?
Oh, I think it will be the same old, same old. This will be Southwark Mark II. You know, lessons have been learned. Things will never happen happen again. Here, take £800,000, health and safety executive, and please, we'll wash all of our people's hands and wash the all responsibility. Kensington and Chelsea TMO were more concerned with wiping their website. I checked their website at 3 a.m. the night this happened. They removed all evidence that they had done anything with this redevelopment. Ryden, the contractor, yes, you can, if you go on the internet, you can go on the Internet Archive and you can check. On the 9th of June, the page was up telling you about all the wondrous things that they were doing there. By 3 a.m. of the night of that fire, that page was gone. Ryden, their page was gone by 7:05 in the morning, I think it was, which I thought it was 7, but a friend of mine has told me it was 7:05. And Studio E, the architects, their page vanished at 5 p.m. What kind of people are you when your first priority is to delete web pages rather than come out and help the people who you are paid to represent? Murderers! Exactly.
Thank you very much. You've got a lot of people, I think, want to talk.
Joe?
Ask you a quick question.
What do I think should have happened? I think that instead of worrying about the exterior of the building, they should have worried about the interior, you know? Actually worked on improving the safety and well-being of the residents inside rather than the aesthetic pleasures of the people who looked at it.
So what was missing inside?
What was missing inside? Well, cladding, sorry, not cladding, fireproofing for a start. I mean, look at that, it's 2017, look at this building. Well, you know, what was the cladding made out of? Petrol and cotton wool. You know, I really can't see how else it was that combustible.
And what capacity you are speaking here?
I live in the block, Barrington Walk. That's it, I'm one of the people who's now homeless because of it. Same as Councillor Lashari. Vote Labour, people. Vote Labour around here, yeah? We just had a swing for the first time. We've had a swing. We've got a Labour MP. Let's get a Labour lead on this council. Then we'll actually get something done, yes.
Some people say a fire was created here.
Huh?
Fire was created here.
Fire was created. Well, even if it was arson, okay? There are lots of buildings where arson attacks happen. They don't go up like that, do they? Because there's meant to be, you know, safety procedures and stopgaps and emergency build things and whatever else. I mean, I'm no architect, yeah? But I know that if I built that, I'd be ashamed of it. I'd really be ashamed of it. I'd be more worried about trying to atone for the deaths and the blood on my hands if I did that than I would about trying to scrub websites.
What floor? Sorry, what floor?
I lived on Barrington Walk, which is one of the 3 blocks next to it. Oh. We're just as homeless.
Oh, because how long have you lived there?
Since March 2010.
And where'd you live before?
North of the borough, Homefield House.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I'm an insurance officer. That's how come I know how much shit they're in.
Joe, just check. You know, they rescued 12 hours afterwards. The Chinese guy was pulled out, completely blind, pulled out of the floor because he was hanging out jumping. Did you know him?
I didn't know him. I know some of the people who are officially listed as missing at the moment. Okay. I doubt all of them suddenly decided to go holidaying anonymously. So I think we all know what's happened to them, sadly. I wish it were the case that they had all just decided to bugger off at the same time, but I very much doubt it, unfortunately.
Can I show you do you recognise this chap here as well? Sorry about the screen. Have you ever seen him before?
I don't recognise that face, no.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, he was living there as well.
What could have been done to prevent it? I don't know, maybe not get Frank Spencer Architects to try and do the work.
Not sure, I'm trying to find him. That's why I'm trying to find him. Sorry, your last name, Joe, is
D-E-L-A-N-E-Y.
That's his name.
Yeah, Delta Echo Lima, Alpha November Echo Yankee. Told what to do. You know, if there was some kind of overarching control, they could maybe direct this stuff a bit better. But at the moment, we're just big society ourselves, aren't we, really? You know, and everything that was done around here was done by people's own initiatives. Nothing was instigated by the council, nothing was instigated by Kensington Chelsea TMO, nothing was instigated by the Conservative Party.
What would you like to see happen? What's public inquiry?
What would I like? The public inquiry does no good. What did the public inquiry in Southwark do? 8 years, £10 million, lessons learned, £800,000 fine. As I said, I'll save you 10 million right now. Kensington and Chelsea are responsible for this. They want to redevelop this entire area. They want us all out. They've never liked the tower blocks. They never have. It is in their 30-year plan that they want to restore the original roadways around here. And my God, they've certainly made a big step towards that with this, you know? But unfortunately now it's going to be on the bones of dead people.
Did you know Robert Lowe in environmental law?
Robert?
Lowe, L-O-W-E.
I don't recognise that name.
Well, if you want to make, you know, Nick Tragic Brown, the council leader, is actually just down the road.
Where? Where? The blue? Is he navy blue suit?
Centre, yeah.
Navy blue suit. I told you it was him. I fucking told you. Right. Cheers. It was him. Yes, I knew it. Thank you.
Where's John? Oh, no, she's behind.
You're watching Boss TV with me, Deanne Facade. Here are the Boss updates. We're going to be launching very, very soon Boss Media Radio. It's currently on test transmission, but stay tuned with us for the first transmission, which will be going live very, very soon. Look out in a little while because we're going to have our very own Boss Media News, which is going to be live from our Greenwich studio. Yes, we've got a new location here at Boss Media and we're very, very excited for its launch. So keep watching for our very first news, and that will be with myself, Deanne Facade. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Boss TV.
Cheers.
I wrote, why did babies have to be thrown from the balcony or from the windows? The reason I wrote this was because in 2017, why is it that a fire, this little witch started from the 4th or 3rd floor, rose to the top where mothers had to chuck their babies just for them not to die in the fire, and they sacrificed their own souls and they didn't want their child to die. And it obviously breaks my heart to say that. Why? And why is it that, you know, the side of the panels? Why was the council putting panels on the side of the buildings which were flammable, knowing that, you know what, they were gonna caught fire, and obviously pretty much it lit the whole building, and probably more than one. It's not just I'm not just saying the babies were thrown down. Babies probably died in the building as well, and that's what breaks my heart as well.
Are you from this neighborhood?
Yes.
Were you from the block?
Nah, I live near the Westbourne area.
Yeah, and what did you see this happening last night?
Pretty much, obviously I'm Muslim, right? Obviously I was coming back from prayers, obviously turned on my TV, and all I see is there's a fire. I thought it was in America because it was on CBS, and then I just realized it was on Facebook, Twitter, and then I just realized it was on BBC News, and then someone said it was in Ladbroke Grove area, and that's when it hit me, because it was so close to my house. So from there, I came in the night, I saw the whole building on fire. I was just so shocked and just like, I didn't know what to do, man. I just felt like I wanted to run in there, and I saw people crying, people screaming. Obviously I saw the babies falling down, and that's what breaks my heart, man. And it's like we were so hopeless. All we could say to them is don't jump, but we saw three people jump from the building, and it's like one was on fire. And obviously I heard that some of them didn't make it, and obviously it's very unfortunate. Obviously can't do nothing about that, and obviously pretty much so obviously we're all here today. Obviously we will set up a memorial for the victims. So obviously pretty much what I've been doing today is, obviously, as you can see, the designs and the color, obviously pretty much I wanted to do, obviously I'm an art student, obviously pretty much I wanted to, I was just seeing people walk by, and I was just seeing like people write messages, and I thought to myself, why don't I put my skills to the test? I want people to always remember these people, because this is going to be in history. No one's ever going to forget this when this fire block happened. And obviously I want this to be laminated. I want this to be shown around the world that, you know what, these people deserve more, these people deserve better, and I want justice for these people.
Why do you think they didn't get better?
I just feel like it's because like, I mean, you know, the safety thing that everyone was told to stay in the building. You know, sometimes I think it's like, if you think that like, obviously actually, you know, as well, there was only one fire exit.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to ask you why, you know, you're angry and you're blaming someone, but who are you blaming? Why do you think this building?
No, you know, whoever, you know, those panels they put on the side of the building, that's what like gets me angry, because they should have tested it. If they knew it was going to be flammable, why did they not test that? And obviously whoever put the, I don't know if it was the council or the government or whoever, they spent, I don't know, they told me regeneration for like 10 million or something to fix this building. And I heard from people that some of the lifts weren't working. Obviously the stairs were on fire, so how on earth are people supposed to come down if the stairs are on fire? And probably because of the heat and obviously the fire coming to the side.
You can't get into a lift in a fire. Listen, can I ask you for your name and how old are you?
My name's Sabu Hussein.
Sabu, S-A-B-U or O-O?
S-A-B-U Hussein.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 18.
18? And you're an art student?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And you're sort of doing this purple drawing, is that right?
Yeah, I did the purple drawings, I did the stars, and I just wanted to make it look nice, because, you know, I want this to be like for here forever. So I want a memorial that, you know, people are going to come here for weeks to come. People are going to come to see this, and I hope Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn come see this, and obviously I want the world to see that, you know, these people were special, they're my brothers and sisters, and they deserved. Well, obviously I couldn't do nothing, but I knew I could. I'm good at art, so I wanted to do something special for them.
Okay, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Is that all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
This. Oh God.
No, don't worry. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to be.
No,
on
no, you're
camera.
not. You just
I hear you, but then
what you're writing
I
down.
need
That's
a pen.
it.
I need
It's
a
not
pen.
your face.
Sorry, can I get that? Oh, sorry.
It's okay, don't worry.
Et toi, ils avaient pris une photo de toi aussi encore, non? C'est toujours... Ouais, bah...
Oh, God, yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
भी कर रहा है क्योंकि इस तमाम तर अफसोसनाक सालहे के नतीजे में इनका ख्याल ये था कि हुकूमत की तरफ से इनकी दाद रसी की जाएगी और हुकूमत जो है हुकूमती जो शख्सियात हैं शख्सियात वो यहाँ पर पहुँचेंगी My heart goes out to every single person just out of the sky.
Excuse me.
About images. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, right, yeah, all right, you can do that. Yeah, that's very nice. It's different to when you see
What's mom doing?
You know, like I'll take
Is she still? Do you want it?
Well, we come down to yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, I don't feel
3 days. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to your loss.
Yeah, that's right.
Excuse me.
Hi, my name is Minnie Germain and you're watching Boss TV. If you want the latest gossip, the latest news on celebrity, whatever it is, follow us on Boss Media TV.
Should there be a
fire in your home?
I mean, I don't want to put too much on this one because, I mean, I've gone for fire training. I'm a community worker as well. I've gone to so many fire trainings which tell people to stay indoors. But like I said in the first place, if the place was safe and then the fire people or the council make provision for, you know, the safety of people by putting compartment doors or making the place so safe for people. I mean, fire can happen anytime, but if the properties that they've used are not cheap, you know, they're real stuff just to save people's lives, then I think we will not get to come into whatever that the people went through this fire.
Lastly, I want to finish about Zainab. I mean, as we're all here, we're thinking about the collective, but there's a lot of people who are going to be at home who are just thinking just about Zainab because that's their family. Is there a message that you have for Zainab's mum and dad and family back in Freetown, and what we as Sierra Leoneans here are going to do to aid and help Zainab's people over here? Is there any message you have for Zainab's family?
Well, I just want to tell them to take her. This is the work of God. I mean, whatever, yes, it's accident, but I think, I wouldn't say it's God's plan, but I mean, it has happened, so they just have to accept it. I know it's difficult for me to say for them to accept it, but we are all here from Sierra Leone as a family, so we're going to try to do our best just to make everything work out well for them, the family, and for the friends as well. We've come up with ideas of, you know, donating stuff, contribution, whatever way you can contribute towards this accident or emergency that has happened, just to help the family as well, is in place now.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much. I mean, I have to really give you credit from this morning, from 11 a.m. you've been here and your support has been phenomenal. So thank you ever so much. And as for the whole Sierra Leonean community, myself, I'm from Freetown, born and bred. To see the people that have come out. Auntie, could I have a quick word with you as well? Because, I mean, your tenacity in today has been phenomenal. I know you're so tired as well. Just a quick conversation with Auntie. What was your name, please? Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Well, my name is Haja.
Haja?
Yeah.
Surname?
Koroma.
Koroma.
Although some people, they know me of Alice anyway.
Okay, Alice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
tell me, again, the same question I'm going to start with you. You feel free to come and join Alice in the conversation.
No, when she finish.
Okay, another question I would like to ask. On the day itself, that night, 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning, when you saw the blaze, what were you thinking?
I don't even want to imagine, you understand, my feeling that particular moment. Because I woke up around 3 a.m. to go and use the loo. Because I always put the TV on.
Yes.
Because I can't sleep in a dark place, so I always left the TV on. When I woke up and I saw the news, I couldn't even go to the loo again. Everything just went blank on me. Yeah. The way I saw the fire, I couldn't believe it myself on the TV.
What were you thinking as a Sierra Leonean? You've been in this, you know, what were you thinking?
I said, oh my God, those people that live in that flat, I don't think if any one of them can survive because the way the fire was, you understand? And I knew, when they said the place, because Zainab, I knew her in this place, in the shopping center.
Oh, good God.
One day I came, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I came around the shopping center. I was going somewhere, but I was lost. I don't know the address. So I was talking to someone on the phone for direction.
Yeah.
And she had me when I was speaking Creole, our general,
yes.
And then she came around and stood by me and said, "Are you from Sierra Leone?" I said, "Yes, I'm from Sierra Leone." And then, yes, and then we exchanged words. And she told me that she lives around here. And she was the one that was even directed me to the place where I was going. Yes. So believe you me, I feel so sad.
Zainab's family's back home is, I mean, we are privileged enough to be able to come back to this building and have a look and see what perhaps she could have gone through, because none of us can imagine. Is there something you'd like to say to Zainab's mum and dad and family back home?
Yeah.
What can we as a community do to support them and their anguish?
Well,
is there anything you would
well,
like to say to
like
them?
the way my sister said, Aminata, because we came, because we came together, we really struggled to get here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I can just give them courage.
Yes.
May God comfort them.
Amen.
I know they are going through a lot, as well as we in the UK. With the Sierra Leone committee, not even only with the Sierra Leonean committee, the whole UK. We are, even every part of the world, we are going through a lot of stress, because for you to hear someone you know died on this kind of thing, believe you me, it can be to everybody. So I'm just giving courage to the family out there today. that let them accept this. It has happened.
And
We are standing by them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you
We
ever
have the
so
Sierra
much.
Leone Media Commissioner here.
The Sierra Leone Media Commissioner is here. It's a handsome young man as well. Is that
Yes.
What was your name? No, I'm going to ask you. Are you ready for me?
Yeah.
Ja, mislim, bolje to, da se zgubili na temu, da pač se ljudje nekaj ne počutijo več.
You are watching Boss TV with me, Deanne Passard. The Women's Worship Gospel Music Awards is an annual ceremony that honours and celebrates female worshippers. We honour outstanding achievements and excellence in women. These awards are to highlight females that are making a positive impact along with the outstanding heroic efforts. Also, the awards are presented to pastors' wives, young females making impacts and representing all inspirational gospel music, community work through the gospel industry. The Women Worship Gospel Music Awards will be a yearly event and remarkable to all those who attend. We aim to bring spirituality and honesty in our worship onto God building stronger communities nationally and globally. On the 25th of August 2018, great women worshippers will gather and network, inspire each other and build the upcoming generation of women worshippers up. It's a night not to be missed. The venue will be at the Fitzroy House, number 37 Fitzroy Street in London, and it will be from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's the 25th of August 2018. See you there.
Well, this is very sad, when I saw that, because for somebody that you know all these years, bubbling lady, outgoing, we've been to the same church. Yeah, even my second church, she was there with me when I lost my mom. And then I took a break when I came back, and then I think she stopped then. So that's the last time I saw her, but she was telling me she's living down this area. So we have a discussion, really. I know she's down this end. So it's really sad to hear that somebody that you knew and then lost her life, because I know the battle that she was going through her life, strong lady, and then to see her going through what she's going through. This is a painful death.
I know maybe this might be a strange question. I mean, somebody that's going to get stuck in that building. Do you think there's things maybe even the tenants could have done to help themselves in this situation? Yes, there was a fire, but I've heard a lot of stories today, in particular things that tenants could have done. For example, turning on all the taps in the house.
Some of them did that.
Hold on.
Some of them.
Yeah.
And what's your feeling on that? Is it right that people are even actually saying that tenants could have done something?
Well, what I can say to you, when you are in a situation like this, you don't think.
Absolutely.
Yes, you lost out of idea. No matter clever you are, you lost out of idea. Because only what you're thinking about, you panic, you're thinking about your life. And this particular lady situation that I'm talking about here, Zainab Dain, you got a child here, which of course you understand that she called someone up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and then later on the conversation just cut off there.
Yeah, the conversation cut off at 3:30 in the morning.
In the morning, whatsoever
that
time?
was the time we tried to phone her.
Right.
And her phone wasn't answered.
Right.
So her phone went off about 3:30.
That's it.
So from 3:30 there was no contact.
Right. So those points, definitely the confusion is there. You as a mother, you have a child, your child is struggling with a smoke or whatsoever. You got to think about. So you have no sense to say, I need to jump, I need to do this, and then the understanding that we understand on the news saying that the fire brigade tell some of them to wait. So really, some of us can think and say, let me jump, let me run, let me do this. But some people won't think. Only what they will say, the fire brigade say I should wait. You trust them to say, right, I should wait. So, the sense won't be there.
But then that begs the next question. Do you think maybe they talk a lot about health and safety with construction companies working in properties like this? Health and safety in relation to having sprinklers. When we talk about moving into a new council property, do you think perhaps this is a new initiative to teach people how to be safe in their home. Because there's only so much responsibility one can say it's the government. This is nobody's fault and it's not the tenant. But do you think perhaps we can have a new initiative to teach people how to deal with a fire?
I think
Fire emergency.
I think this is a lesson for both the governments and also the local governments, because I know they signed the people that so ever run it, like the council, to run safety and things like that, which of course I know many of us are tenants. We know whatsoever how the council is running. Only whatsoever they're interested about the rent money. Whatsoever, when you have issue, it takes them time to come to your rescue. So see two things. I'm going through that as well. What I do is, although I break the law, I said to them, I'm not going to pay your rent on this one's fixed, on this one fixed. I've done that with my council because this is or like that. I don't supposed to do that because one time they told me even they would take me to court. I said, I don't care. I want to make sure about things being done. I got a child with a special need here. You cannot put me in a situation like this. Something needs to be settled. Council are not doing their job. This is one thing I can tell you for sure. Absolutely. And things are not put into place. That is why this disaster took place for some. As you send the tenants can say a lot of things to them, but they won't take up this issue up to make sure that local government do something to pass it on to the main body to do something. So this is what is going wrong in the local council.
Thank you ever so much.
It's almost the same because thinking about the loss of life, loss of property, that happened some years ago in Sierra Leone. So I think it's very sad for us as Sierra Leonean. And that is why I believe for us as Sierra Leonean coming together to mourn with our brothers and sisters is very keen at this moment. Thinking of the fact that at times when we are out of Sierra Leone, for us to meet at a particular point is very difficult. Yes. With this type of issue, we see Sierra Leonean coming from all directions to ensure that we're here to cry for our sister. I believe this is a key case for all of us as Sierra Leonean, that when we have a situation like this, we need to come together, we need to support, we need to show each other love. I came yesterday from Sierra Leone. I'm here this morning to join Sierra Leonean. Thank you very much. To join Sierra Leonean to this particular it's very sad. Very sad. I believe
I mean, with so many Sierra Leoneans who are here today, I'm also hearing not just from not from Sierra Leoneans, but a lot of people have mentioned this thing about job opportunities to come out to something so treacherous. So I need to go back to the construction companies in this country. What do you think construction companies could have done to prevent this catastrophe from happening to such a massive community? What could the construction companies have done?
To do their work properly, I believe if there was...
Are you aware there were no sprinklers in the building?
That's what I heard from the news. I believe this is the case for whatever other construction, that whenever they are doing construction, they must take cognizance of all of these facts. I believe I don't want to go into that much because of my position. I'm not living in here.
Well, we who come from Sierra Leone, we may not have perhaps the most advanced construction companies back home, but that makes you...
You're watching Boss TV with me, Deanne Prasad. Here are the Boss updates. We're going to be launching very, very soon Boss Media Radio. It's currently on test transmission, but stay tuned with us for the first transmission, which will be going live very, very soon. Look out in a little while because we're going to have our very own Boss Media News, which is going to be live from our Greenwich studio. Yes, we've got a new location here at Boss Media and we're very, very excited for its launch. So keep watching for our very first news, and that will be with myself, Deanne Fassad. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Boss TV.
From the Savage family in Florida.
Wonderful. Were you living, or are you living in
I live at the block.
this block behind?
Yeah.
So, on the day itself, do you remember what happened?
It was like an oven when you are watching a bakery, baking bread, and you see the flames in different compartments. That's exactly what happened. And the first person I telephoned was Zainab. And this was and her phone was in.
Hey, what time was that?
It was about 3:30.
Oh, good golly gosh.
Yeah.
And what did you see? What did you
All I could see was fire. It was just like the time of 911 in the States, the Twin Towers. That's exactly what was happening there. What happened with the building itself, you have, when they contracting the work out.
Who were the contractors?
We don't know, but they were contracted to a British company. That company subcontracted it to someone else.
So it was a sub-sub?
It was a sub everywhere.
Okay.
And the Greenfell Action Group been complaining about this for quite a long time, saying that it's tragedy waiting to happen.
Wow.
But the TMO itself could not listen. We've had similar experiences here, not with fire, but things breaking down. Electricity, water, and gas. If you looked at the building itself when it was on fire,
Uncle, this all.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Come on, bro.
My name is Minnie Germain and you're watching Boss TV. If you want the latest gossip, the latest news on celebrity, whatever it is, follow us on Boss Media TV.
Hey, yo, beats